The right to kill another human being. No human being possesses the right and/or authority to end someone else's life. My name is Dakota Appelhans, and I am against capital punishment as a verdict in the court of law. The government. Government is set up to punish those whose initial action goes against the laws of the land. In some cases, the use of lethal injection on the criminal is justified. Why should capital punishment be deemed illegal? It is ineffective due to the time span of the trials. Trials could last decades, and by the time they convict the person to capital punishment, people have most likely forgotten about the trial. Innocent people may be found guilty, and lots have been slipped through the cracks because science is not a concrete evidence. I mean, it can be for like DNA evidence, but there's also witnesses and vague connections. And ending someone's life is not a right that people possess. The use of capital punishment in the United States government should be illegal because it is ineffective due to the time span of trials. Innocent people may be found guilty, and ending someone's life is not a right people possess. In general, the time span for the court to reach a verdict of capital punishment after the suspect is convicted is too lengthy and therefore seem ineffective in eliminating felons from society and fails to establish strict punishment to those convicting heinous crimes. After the initial crime takes place, solving the mystery to find the suspect and then convict the suspect in a court of law takes years as the government is putting someone to death. The length of time for these certain cases is extensive, and the public may feel death is ineffective after so long. For example, Claypass was found guilty of rape and murder in 1996 after Kansas reinstated the death penalty in 1994. His case has taken more than a decade because of legal errors and questions about how people here should be put to death. Hence, death penalty has a feeling of being ineffective due to the length of time it takes for trials and appeals to go through the court system. The second point is that in addition to the time span being ineffective, the chance of condemning innocent people to death is only succeeded through outlawing capital punishment. The right to a fair and just trial is outlined in the Constitution, but it does not guarantee that the verdict is to be truthful in the views of the convicted, which only creates utter despair for those truly innocent. Although concrete evidence and witnesses are mandatory, there are some convicted to capital punishment based purely on conjectures and vague connections. Larry Cox, executive director of Amnesty International, commented that killing a man under this enormous cloud of doubt is horrific and amounts to a catastrophic failure in the justice system. Therefore, the only way to eliminate any chance of killing an innocent person is to remove the use of capital punishment as a verdict in crimes. As well as the right to a fair and speedy trial, people are also entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness according to the Bill of Rights. But these rights do not include that of killing another human being. Even if the convicted truly did commit homicide with aggravated circumstances by confessing, the rights of the jury and those of the judge do not entitle them to kill the confessor, even if the killing is ordained by law. The suspect in any homicide case may have taken the life of their victim, but it does society no good to kill them for killing someone else. It merely adds fury surrounding the case. It is not up to state governments to end someone's life, even after factoring in heinousness of the crime and attitudes in opposition to capital punishment, which are influential factors in a social cognitive path of the jury-making decision. Therefore, capital punishment should be abolished, as humans do not have the right to play God and decide others' fates. The main points as to why capital punishment should be deemed unconstitutional are because it is ineffective due to the time span of the trials that usually last a couple decades because of the appeals. Innocent people may be found guilty and slip through the cracks as science is not concrete, and ending someone's life is not a right that people possess. To truly obtain a fair judicial system, the United States government needs to abolish capital punishment as a sentence in court cases, as it does no good for society to kill another human being even though they killed someone else. They don't have the right to kill someone else, but we do not have the right to kill them. And that's why I think that capital punishment should be ineffective. Are there any questions?
So your outlook on capital punishment is against it, for the reason that because they killed someone else, we shouldn't be allowed to kill them, right?
Yeah, exactly. We should not have the right, we do not actually have the right to kill someone even though they may have killed someone else.
So what if someone killed one of your family members or someone you loved? You would still not want to kill them. You'd still have them, sit in prison, have a roof over their head, 3 square meals a day.
Exactly. I mean, even though I have factored in if my family were to get killed or my friends, but the time span of the trial to convict someone of capital punishment, it just goes on and on and on because the government is putting someone to death, and it's so ineffective after so long, and the appeals that go through that by the time they do get put to death. There was this one case that a family member, I think it was a brother, got killed, and then the one that was still living, he died before he got to see the suspect be killed by lethal injection.
So do you think that as science improves and as we come up with different methods of convicting people, and I know DNA has been the hot topic of the last 10 or 15 years, do you think that even as we come up with even better science, do you think that your position on this issue might change?
No, because it's not a right. Even though science will become concrete one day, it's not a right that we possess to kill someone else. Thank you.